The panel called out the Phantom Lancer pick. Lacoste specifically said that CHILLAX had the wrong idea about what Chicken Fighters was going to draft. Do you agree with that narrative?
To a certain extent. I was feeling the Naga more than the PL, but honestly, either of those is going to perform similarly here. It's a really hard matchup for the Night Stalker to run into. Neither of their other cores deals with it. Neither of their other supports deals with it. So it's one of those free Phantom Lancer games. If he gets to that third item, which is usually Heart in this meta, I'm not sure what's actually stopping him in the fight. The upside is CHILLAX's cores can deal decently well with some of these squishy ranged backliners. Pugna, Skyrath, Lina. They don't want to be gap closed. They don't want to be gone on by Scotty Morphling at a certain point. This Night Stalker can do work on the early engagements before PL's ready to fight. It's just a question of how much damage can you get done in that period. Because if this goes later, I think this PL is going to be a big problem for them to deal with.
So it sounds like, once again, them being able to win their lanes is particularly important. Like, in order to get that kind of snowball into the mid game and have the Night Stalker be influential, they kind of need to at least not be super far behind, right?
Lanes definitely help. The other route is you can just win a lot of those early fights, take early towers off the back of maybe Tiny somehow. Even Morphling can do it if he has a really good laning phase. He goes up top, takes this early safe lane tower. You just want to open up the map, give room to this Night Stalker and Tiny to play with the Grimstroke behind them. This Bane can find picks on his own and looking for an early potential body block kill maybe.
Yeah, they're going to try and do some damage here, but Pugna's such a fast hero. It's a pretty hard kill to get, but, you know, he gets a good damage. They actually get a little gold after killing the Nether Ward.
That's a TP and sleep down for Rodine, though, and this is a Skyrath Sand King lane versus Morph, so ideally he soaks up a lot of the early damage so his Morph doesn't have to buy a lot of regen. He doesn't want to have to buy any on this hero, but might be forced to in a lane with this much harass.
Yeah. Speaking of Coma and that Phantom Lancer pickup, it might just be a bit of comfort because when it comes to professional matches, he has actually played Phantom Lancer 4 times more than the Naga Siren suggestion. So maybe he's just a bit more comfortable with it, but I will also say his win rate is a little suspect on that hero at the same time. 36% win rate.
Sounds like a lot of carry players. I don't think there's a lot of carries that have played Naga more than PL. PL's just been in the meta a lot more. This hero's a lot more robust. If you're gonna pick one of these illusion heroes, he's the one who usually does the job.
I thought you were gonna say low win rate on PL. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, that's another question too, but maybe for different reasons.
How do you view this mid lane matchup, by the way, we're watching right now? MTD versus Supreme, Tiny versus Lina.
Tiny can always out-CS you on early waves, just benefit of that super high base damage, but it's got to be favorable for Lina over the long run. I mean, he's going to free farm. He should free farm any of the small camps that he wants to along the way.
All right. I was going to say a short pause. You know, casters always say that. We're going to have a short pause here. They actually don't know, right? We have no idea exactly how long the pause is going to take, but apparently, at least I thought, it was going to be very short. But then apparently we're having a bit of lag. So looking at lane breakdown so far, do you feel like CHILLAX is going to walk away looking pretty happy? Because MTD's already up in CS like you were kind of talking about for that mid lane matchup. But bottom seems to be kind of a scary lane for them.
As you see, Lodine's going to pay the price right on cue. Yeah, this is a very hard lane for a couple. I think for 2 reasons. I don't think Bane is the ideal support to have in a lane like this. You can tank it up for the Morphling and eventually get him either Morbid Mask or Ring as your go-to in this lane to get that sustain out, but this Skyrath is just so hard for Bane to trade into. It's one of the better lane matchups versus this hero in general. You outrange him, long duration slow, you out-trade him. You're not too worried about getting right-click through your 0 armor just because of that differential. And Sand King, he can kind of choose when he engages on this Bane and get that 2-on-1 trade because Morph is not always going to be able to join the early aggressive trades that well. It's the downside of this hero. At the same time, this Bane dying once or twice is probably acceptable. He's just stacking the salves. Your goal is to get more farm in this lane. This Bane does not need much outside of levels.
Sure. Anything to ensure that the Morphling is able to freely hit creeps and doesn't have to morph into strength and be scared of Sand King Skyrath combo.
Exactly. At the same time, you do have to think about The downside is you're giving Jibbe a free lane on this Sand King. We've seen what this hero can do in this patch, right? He can just go insane and take over the map. So maybe this Morph has a decent start, but they're trying to ramp it up.
Oh, no, wait. The Nightmare, that should be enough. Maybe it's not. Actually,
Needs one more.
Ooh, it's not enough. But maybe they can kill Sky.
Yes,
Any
kick
body
charges.
blocking? Nothing there. He slips right on by, and sadly, both of those kills will slip out of the fingers of CHILLAX.
A lot of mana for Bane to use to try and get those kills. I respect the effort. It was really close. If they get that, it changes a lot about this game. But this Sand King is just going to continue to farm here, and the equilibrium's so far back for them too. They've got to be happy with how this lane is going. Even early Wraith banned for plebs, so that kill hurts them a lot more too, because it pushes him farther away from this mask or ring, and he is going the mask, which is more traditional. That's the item that lets him stand on this lane versus the harass over time. The longer it takes for him to get there, the larger the window is going to be for this Sand King Sky to potentially bring the hurt on. But you know, their offlane, it's going decent. Double Brace or Night Stalker is never going to be easy to force out.
Oh, really good setup with both of those creeps so low. They get a lot of Caustic Finale damage in. At the same time, Skywrath Mage battling it out. Lodine gets silenced, actually. Last second, Lil Pleb's going to show up and get the last hit on the kill. Lodine does get finished off by the Burrow Strike by Jibbe.
Super value trade. Getting the Morph to kill there is insanely good, because now he's on that way to mask. Might even wait and TP out with it if he can get some of the CS. Well worth it there to trade every time for the Bane. Especially in a scenario like that where he got caught out on the side. Those are deadly situations here. MNT trying to get these pulls off, but not cooperating. Now it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes means nighttime. That is go time for Night Stalker in general. Doesn't have boots yet, and it's going to be potentially hard to dive this Phantom Lancer with his high armor. The Pugna behind as well. But this is ideally when you want to start to ramp up the lane pressure with this hero and get something going. Either kick the carry out, dive the tower, take the tower, kill the support on their side. Start ramping up your early good start into some sort of trajectory.
Yeah.
Looks like they're trying here.
Yeah, they're going to try and go for the kill on a 5-up, and it looks like they've got it, but at the same time, Onmi's going to take a lot of damage on the way out. The wand charge might just be enough. Oh, Koma ended up in front of him with the Doppelganger. Onmi has to try and juke into the trees. He doesn't actually have enough mana for a lance anyway, so Onmi, Salve is going to be kept alive. Really nice juke by him.
I was going to say, that almost looked like he was going to pay the price for that kill, but barely got it, so they're starting to ramp it up here. You'd rather have that PL, but you'll take the Pugna. Sky gets that double damage away from Tiny. It's a nice rune steal. And he'll get the D-ward.
His very slow attack speed means that the sentry does die, but whatever. It did its job. They're really trying to set up on this Tiny with this ward. They'll take down the ward. They could say, okay, the Tiny knows about this, so pointless to try.
He's a hard kill anyway.
Yeah, he's a big tanky boy.
Not realistic. Bane has the extra night vision too, so he's going to be able to scout these engagements better. And honestly, it's a question, do you want to bring the Skywrath away from the side lane when it was going so well for you? The upside is if Sand King can continue to freeform and get that solo XP, it's potentially even better, but
yeah,
he doesn't have a huge amount of plays elsewhere on the map, so just choosing to stack here from Mira.
See whether or not, I mean, I feel like Night Stalker is one of the better heroes to invade and try and deal with any sort of stack taking, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not CHILLAX can actually combat that.
Not if you do it during the day, though.
That's true.
It's the counter.
But then maybe he has darkness.
This is that illusion matchup versus Night Stalker, too.
Yeah.
This PL's happy to stay up here. It's going to need more heroes in combination with Zenith to kick him off the lane, which is ideally what Night Stalker usually wants to do in this period, but not being able to find it. I mean, Grim and Bane are not going to be the best at combining with him. The Grim is nice, but it still doesn't feel like enough damage, especially with this Skywrath being able to sit mid, soak up levels, and have all his resources. This is an easy TP for him top if that Night Stalker chooses to dive. You know Era is just waiting for this move to come out. He TPs, turns around with super high damage nukes. Suddenly your whole momentum dies doubly as fast and doubly as bad. So instead, CHILLAX are going to look to make the move mid and fight around their Tiny for this rune.
Zibbe was going for stacks, but now he's going to be found as he comes out of the triangle directly into the hands of the Tiny, but maybe he can actually get some spells off. The Nightmare dodges some damage, but the Epicenter, it's going to be able to catch these heroes as neither one is going to be able to escape. Lodina and MTD both fall in a gank gone wrong.
That's somewhat a product of this bottom lane going well. The Sand King, he has Raindrop, he has Null, almost completed Bracer. It's 1200 HP you're going to have to burn through with level 3 and 4 supports. Yeah. There's not enough damage in that tank. I can understand that move. It potentially looked really good here.
He's just too damn tanky. That Raindrop does a lot to be able to save that last bit of HP he needs to keep engaging. All right, that was a value Photoshop. Whoever came up with that idea, wonderful.
You think they actually Photoshopped that, or they pulled a Photoshop photo?
Oh,
how much work went into that bit?
I thought you were gonna say, do you think they actually Photoshopped that, or do you think that's actually a chicken?
No, I hope you think better of me, Cap. Also, that was Russell Crowe from Gladiator.
Yes,
right?
It was.
I know
SVG, that was a chicken. Come on.
Oh, I'm aware of it. That could have been Russell Crowe. You never know.
Oh, Russell Chicken, anyway.
No, Russell Crowe. The pun speaks for itself here, Cap.
That's true. 2-4, 3,000 net worth lead for Chicken Fighters. As once again, they have walked away from the laning phase with a pretty healthy net worth lead, and we said that it was going to be really important for CHILLAX, particularly with this Night Stalker hero and the counter pick that happened from Chicken Fighters for them to secure some early momentum, but it's just not happening. As everywhere these supports move, they are met with failure.
Sand King got to do that Ancient stack. He already has Blink, 950. The PL still gets to sit top, not kicked out. Lena's farming jungle. Chicken Fighters were in a rare situation where they're showing 2 supports on 2 different lanes with 3 cores jungling and did not get punished. And even now, Oni is the one getting owned in this mid lane.
Yeah, and maybe next time, who was supposed to be his little helper, is going to be dying here. But they do manage to have the Blink Dagger onto MTD, and a beautiful initiation. A counter initiation, though, from the Burrow Strike of the Sand King. Own B chasing after Lina. He gives up his life and a chance to be able to kill the Lina, but Supreme out-heals it with the bottle, and MTD, well, he's got an avalanche, but the Lina's closing in. Supreme, hello, double kill for him.
Coma TP's in for that last bit of XP. This early game is not going the way of CHILLAX. This is really rough for them. It's going to be an uphill battle almost from now until the end of the game, I feel like, because PL is going to hit all his timings. Lena's having a free game. Sand King has a free game.
And Sand King is about to get another kill. Dibbe is just on fire this one.
They really need this Bane level 6 to kill some of these cores, but where is he going to get it? It's another question.
He needs his level 6. I would say the Grimstrokes levels are pretty important too, right? These higher levels of Stroke of Fate and Inkswell. I mean,
for sure.
Those are, as a support, he's a decent answer to Phantom Lancer, right?
Radiant's bottom tower.
A little bit. I'd say if you're snowballing, he's okay.
Sure.
And combining with these cores to get those early kills, but the way this game is going, his spells are not that good of direct interactions with this hero when he's farmed, and he can be the one picking which fights he has to come to. PL, when he's forced off the parts of the map, or he's forced to join fights he doesn't want to go to, it's a much different hero than in games like this where it's not going to have to show up forever. Nice sleep dodge, though.
Yeah, that high ground ward told CHILLAX everything they needed to know about this upcoming engagement. They managed to catch Supreme, but sadly, no lock-on there for the Grim Ultimate, but maybe MTD with a toss straight up in the air and a little bit of follow-up damage, they surely have it. But from the other side of things, Coma's actually come in, and as a Phantom Lancer, he's ready to fight nice and early. What a beautiful Blink Burrow onto 2 by Zibbe. The extra momentum there needed to ensure they kill at least one more hero in this engagement.
Diffusal.
Maybe 2. MTD, Diffusal slowed down. Coma is free lane. The fact that you said he's able to park out in this top lane is going to be a disaster for CHILLAX later, and it certainly was.
He's still up here, right? I mean, where is CHILLAX going to go on the map even when they respawn? And that's assuming Chicken Fighters are done. They're still looking to be aggressive with this SK Sky combo, looking for that morph on the triangle. Pleb's going to be lucky to get out here.
Is there a plan B? Lodine, okay. He tries to go the Netherward. Can't even do that much. as maybe next time's going to be spotted by the high ground wards. At best, he can hope for a deny from the neutrals.
At worst, he might get his stack stolen.
Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Supreme sitting here. Zibe. Okay, they do what they can. They get a combo onto the Skywrath Mage, and Lil Pleb dodges a lot of the
Double
epicenter damage there.
Lina, though.
He's morphed into strength, but look at Koma. He's coming over. They have a Fiend's Grip onto that DD Lina, but Lodin has to give up his life to ensure that his cores get out alive, and the stack is still going to go the way of Chicken Fighters.
Plan B. All right.
Now that is a beautiful sight right
now.
there.
Now they're just sending a message.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, well, Chicken Fighters have definitely put on some entertainment right now as they are
Radiant's
kind of
top
dumpstering
tower has
CHILLAX. They're really showing that there is a separation between potentially the top 3 teams of the lower division of Western Europe and the rest of the field. As CHILLAX was supposed to be one of those midfield teams that could maybe contest for the top, but against Chicken Fighters, it just looks like there's no chance.
This is probably their one big chance to get back in this game. Arcane Rune for Tiny, good initiation, and this is the big NS ult.
5 up does eventually die here, and the Lina's pretty heavily committed. Quickly deals with the Phantom. Zibe will try and cover his tracks, as sure enough, they will manage to just run themselves away. A buyback on 5 up, but it's a pittance. It's a small net worth investment to ensure that a team fight doesn't go terribly wrong.
This is 5-man move for a Rune with your Night Stalker ulti. You got a Pugna buyback. That's something, but not what you were hoping to get. Now Chicken Fighters, 30 seconds, no nighttime. Decent window to make a play here for this mid tower.
They run into the Bane. And how far are they going to run into the Bane here? Diving into the tier 1 towers, Koma. I mean, he really doesn't have much to be scared of, as you were saying. Like, maybe Grimstroke, Tiny, when they're ahead, can do something about the Phantom Lancer, but being behind, they just simply do not have the damage to threaten him, and Koma's taking full advantage of that.
I really like that he joined these fights and is doing exactly that. This is a game he could have just AFK farmed for 3 items, but he's taking the heat to them, and it's paying off dividends for his team.
Oh, using the neutral item for that extra bit of movement speed to see if the Skywrath Mage could get one last nuke in, and he does, turning it to the Sand King. Nice play from Lil Pleb, instantly catching Era into a Burrow Strike Sandstorm. It's not quite enough damage by itself, but with another waveform or a couple more shots, it could be, and it is enough, but he's heavily committed now. On the other side, MTD, as the Tiny trying to connect over to this Morphling, has run into 5 up. They don't have the burst damage, and Lil Pleb needs the help from his supports. They're going to use the silence onto the Sand King. He's morphing into strength, but there's only so long this is going to last. He pops the one, waveforms a little bit distance away, and Lil Pleb plays that well. But ultimately, all he does is survive. MTD may still be caught. Oh, actually,
nice,
they're going to try and go for this one again.
Double grip.
A really good grip. Lil Pleb trying to put damage in. A nice toss avalanche together with MTD. Ensures 2 kills, and perhaps another is 5 up. He's not going to be able to make it out either. CHILLAX showing that even when they're behind, they do have their moments of brilliance.
That is the point of interaction for this Grimstroke that can do some work this game. That link will auto-link to the PL if you can get another target or illusion. That double grip is the real powerhouse behind this combo. Putting it to good work here. A really good fight. Overextension by Chicken Fighters a little bit. Just can't blame them, though, at how strong they felt in this game. But that's a full HP Night Stalker coming back into the fight after they used a lot on him earlier. And all set up on the back of Pleb. Really nice stick charge usage to get out of there while that PL's doppling.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get his mana burn.
That looked like an absolute disaster. Especially when I had a bad feeling when he did the second waveform to kill the Sky. I was like, okay, you killed him, but...
Yeah, that was deep.
It was pretty deep. Fortunately, he survives, and CHILLAX keep the networks from spiraling out of control. They're still behind, but only by 3K. And can they go late game against this Phantom Lancer? I mean, the panel said he's the true carry of this game. Like, he's the be-all, end-all. But Tiny, Morphling combined, could they be enough?
I think on paper, it's pretty hard to beat this Chicken Fighters lineup late game. But I will say I've seen Night Stalker lineups do some crazy stuff. Vision is god tier in competitive Dota. There's a reason why this Night Stalker hero's been in a lot of patches. If you can find the right targets, you know, PL, this hero can 1v5 to an extent, but not in a true vacuum, right?
Right.
That's where maybe if they can get the numbers advantage, use the vision, use the fact they don't have any BKB Pierce on Chicken Fighter's side, this Night Stalker's going to have a free BKB ultimate timing. Same for this potential Tiny at some point. they have really good ways to jump these supports, jump even the Lina and Burster before BKB. And then it's a question of, does PL want to engage at that point, and does he do enough damage on his own to be able to take that fight? That's how they can win this game later. It's not out of the question. But on paper, this PL, he's still really farmed. He's going to have a good timing. And again, the big question of this hero is, how much does he get done with that hard timing? That's really when this hero becomes an issue to deal with. And he's well on his way.
Yeah, he certainly is. So, not out of the question for CHILLAX to be able to go late and still contest, but not ideal either. So we kind of need to see them flip this net worth lead that Chicken Fighters currently has in this nighttime. If not, I'm not even sure if they can wait for the next nighttime. That heart will probably be done by then. That's kind of the beginning, right? Phantom Lancer gets the heart. That's the big timing window. Is maybe they're going to find 5 up here. MTD is not fast enough.
Looking top. Might get the silence.
Oh, they do get the silence, and he is in serious trouble. He only has stick charges, no Manta just yet. A perfect timing for Chicken Fighters to get that kill because, or excuse me, not Manta, Linken's.
Yeah, kind of going for that hybrid build. Linken's is definitely going to be nice here for the insta sky silence in the burrow. It'll let him play the fights a lot more. At the same time, is he going to need a BKB this game to avoid some of that mana burn and the Lina stun from Fog?
Yeah.
That might be a bigger question. And then it's a issue of going Linken's BKB. Is it winning you this game? Don't know. So that's going to be the big question with this type of build. Good for farming out the lanes, pushing out the map, makes you a bit safer in the fight. The downside is you're going to be able to combat this PL hard timing, which you got to know he's coming up with a decent one this game.
BKBs all around for CHILLAX. Aether Lens being picked up next for our Skywrath Mage, who has the triple null talisman build up. No Helmet Dominator this game, actually trying to work on some damage. Understandable with a Sand King particularly. This combo is pretty devastating.
Does that disappoint you, Cap? You sounded disappointed.
Then no Helmet Dominator?
Yeah.
I am a little bit. I mean, like, what's the superior night vision of Night Stalker doesn't compare to a Harpy, you know?
It's like shoving it in his face, right?
I think we could have aerial battles, you know? Night Stalker versus the Harpy, trying to chase him down.
Well, here's the land battle for the Roshan. Air Supremacy is not doing them anything in this engagement. Chicken Fighter's just giving it up. Interesting decision, because I think their heroes are pretty decent at fighting around this pit, but again, that's where that Ennis vision could just be deterring it too much. Well, this is a decent trade for CHILLAX.
If they can get it, which looks like they should be able to. This Roshan is actually taking a bit longer than I expected. Finally does die.
Back to daytime. Well, they can have the option of making a move during this 5-minute daytime, which perfectly co-lines with this Aegis. Maybe a little bit unfortunate. You'd rather have it during one of those night periods, but might be able to make some smokes and use this BKB timing on Ennis, which is coming around the corner.
What an advantage is the Grimstroke right here. Just casually pushing out lanes through Stroke of Fate. Without committing any sort of core here, just quickly pushes it out.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Philosopher's Stone. All right, this man knows his supports.
True, Philosopher's Stone. Very important. Or Philly Stone, as some people like to call it.
Nice pump fake action.
Sometimes you just got to make some noise, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we saw Milan taking his shirt off. It's probably the in-game equivalent, you know?
Yeah, true.
Wake
But
up.
then they started losing, so he put his shirt back on. So
Well, that's why he stopped pump faking.
Yeah. Don't want to overdo it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, they have a Darkness to work with. They have Linken's. They have BKB. They have hit a timing of their own on CHILLAX. I have to imagine they want to use this Aegis. I don't think they could just chill out and wait for the second or third nighttime, rather.
I tend to agree, and it looks like they also agree. TPing back here, double TPs to join the smoke.
Well, since we're all in agreement here, CHILLAX will Let's see if this team fight
Supreme is
agrees
just
with
showing
them.
mid.
This would be really big kill if they can get it. He does have the BKB though. A
chain
vast
stun.
bit of damage though, and a beautiful chain stun is Pleb. Now
Nice
turning
burrow.
into the burrow into Era. Very nice extra +1 kill. And maybe +2. Nobody gonna chase after. Oh! From downtown! Maybe next time gets sent in to finish off the Pugna while the Skywrath while Own Me managed to catch up. They do have Lil Pleb finishing up this mid-tier 1 tower, so that was honestly a perfect team fight. I mean, you sounded a bit surprised that the Lina was showing in the first place.
That just seemed crazy. I mean, he has BKB, but you're gonna get chain stunned off this initiation, and there's not a whole lot to interrupt it. You can even just get gripped if you do get that BKB off, and it might be long enough for Morph to take you down. This Lina's always gonna be the best target for CHILLAX to jump.
Yeah.
And showing on that mid lane, extremely bold when you know these CHILLAX heroes want to make a move with this Aegis NS ultimate. Yeah, your PL was finishing hard too. This is one of those deaths where you're carried. Koma's mad. He's like, yo guys, I'm 200 gold off my item. I don't want to join a fight. Let's not get jumped for 30 seconds and then I'm down.
Yeah.
And you get jumped. So discoordination coming out from Chicken Fighters. Do one or the other. If you want to take the fight, you could probably take it if you set it up properly. If you want to get this PL hard, don't get jumped. CHILLAX doing a good job at finding that window. They're not done, even though it's daytime.
Did have some vision of 5 up, but he is quite fast. They're gonna deal with the ward here on the high ground, but it looks like, as is tradition, Lodine will be left behind. Oh, looks like an LSA caught maybe next time. And the rest of the team is fast enough to be able to catch him. They actually do manage to get the Soulbind. They're going to go for the Avalanche. The toss combination there does a healthy amount of damage. The Sand King is low enough. They finish him up. Coma's actually down to half health as well, but they need to be able to find the real one on this second doppelganger. And it looks like with the Phantom Rush, he jumps over to the neutrals pretty quickly. Pleb is far enough behind, and he does not want to go into that high ground scenario. Not without vision.
Gotta be careful of these links. This is gonna destroy the PL and the engagement if they're not careful. And maybe next time, he's building Ags, so he really wants to punish this PL if he can ever get him in that link. Not always the easiest thing to do, but he's been finding him this game.
Yeah, he certainly has.
That PL illusion will do some work. That is a scary illusion to get.
Shadowblade. Well, Pleb has 30 seconds left on the Aegis. Are they going to try? Okay. He spotted 5 up somehow. Oh, thanks to this ward that is still there next to the Roshan pit. Doesn't find the kill, however, and it looks like they're not going to be able to use the Aegis to get a kill or get a tier 2. It's sadly going to time out.
Pretty decent period, though, considering it was this 5-minute daytime period. They got the really nice fight mid. They got the tier 1 mid. Forced this PL out of a fight where it was his hard time to kind of take it.
Yeah, and it covered over like a really weak period of time for Night Stalker, the third daytime.
Exactly.
Right? So now, okay, Aegis is down, but now you're fighting it to Night Stalker nighttime again.
This is where that vision's going to be a big problem for Chicken Fighters. Maybe they wish they had that Helmet Dom after all, because
yeah,
there's not a lot to see for them. And the initiation is all on Sand King this game. It's not coming out from pretty much anybody else. PL can just kind of run in, but not when the enemy's clumped like this and they see you coming.
Blink Dagger 4 owned me. What is his game plan here with that item? Is he just trying to put pressure on like the Sky and Pugna?
Yep, get in on that backline, cause chaos.
Well, he's going to be caught here. The magic damage blows him up too quickly. No chance for a BKB.
That was a kill I think Lodine should have been behind him on. They can sleep save and turn that around.
Yeah.
Like this Sky Sand King want to be looking on these side lanes for picks, but it should be the same kind of idea in CHILLAX's mind of you show one hero up here, no one's on the map. That should, in a way, be a risky go for them. Not getting punished. They might try and get a grip here, but you gotta know Sky is still around. MNT just getting.
Uh-oh.
Close one. When the map splits up like this, I feel like it favors Chicken Fighters a lot.
Yeah. Because of Lina, right?
Yeah, and they have the double bots, right? Sand King and Lina bots. The Skywrath's really scary for a lot of these heroes off the map off a stun. PL, if he can ever find 2 or 3 heroes alone, is happy to just run in and take that engagement.
Glimmer Cape, Pugna is going to be able to find some heroes here. Lodine is already dead, so the TP in from the Sand King is canceled. He's like, okay, you guys got that part of the map handled. Manta now complete for the PL. Gonna go for Butterfly next. So you have to wonder, what is CHILLAX's answer to an item build like that?
Kill everybody else?
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Okay.
Unless you get this a link on him, I don't think PL's dying that directly in the fight. It's just a question of how much can you take out his other damage sources. The best are going to be that Lina and Skywrath because there's so much of the follow-up. Sand King isn't going to be destroying you if you get your BKBs off. So it's a question of jumping the right targets, and that's where the Shadowblade blink on MTD. A lot of these fights can come down if you can find the right target. Maybe even get a toss back. You can always toss back into grip.
Yeah.
Part of why this Bane hero is so powerful. Something the Team Spirit have used at TI. They like this hero because anytime Collapse goes in, you spear someone back, you skewer them back, you axe call and run away.
Yeah.
You drag a hero into grip. It's way harder to deal with because your team ends up being too far to displace that effect. That could be this tiny Bane combo that comes to fruition. Toss someone in, grip them. It's a nice way to start the fight.
Oh, no.
NS vision.
Okay. They didn't reveal exactly. Okay, now they kind of reveal. Either way.
He killed the Sentry, not the Obs. I was going to say he had to go back for that one. Gem on this Night Stalker.
MTD might still be able to catch somebody here. Oh, on the high ground, actually does manage to spot the Sand King, accidentally hits the Lina. On top of that, Omi is going to be able to follow up the Sand King kill, and now they're going to try and chase down the Pugna. Should be pretty easy. It looks like Chicken
Coma
Fighters
wants to take this,
No,
though.
yeah, you're right. Coma actually wants to go for this one. The rest of his team isn't quite following soon. They managed to get a 2-man Soulbind with the Night Stalker. 2-man grip on top of that one. Kill everybody else, you said, SVG, and they've already done that.
Yeah, Pugna came back
on the Pugna.
Kill him again.
Potentially a dieback for him, but they're still afraid of Coma. And Lodine, he's going to be most scared of all as he is easily killed by Coma. If he can actually get the damage in there, Doppelganger dodges the stun and kills the Bane. Still trying to find the real one. They do manage to get the real silence onto him. That's really good. They're clearing out some of these illusions. The AoE damage is just enough. They kill the Phantom Lancer. They finish off the dieback on 5-up. No buyback on any of these heroes left on Chicken Fighters now. A chance for CHILLAX to own the map.
Supreme is not getting to do anything in these fights. This Night Stalker is an uncountered beast in these engagements. Just BKBs runs in. What is your answer, right? PL does not do any damage to these BKBs at these points, so it's a huge window for this Night Stalker. Abuse their tank ability, get in there, give the vision for this Grim Bane to win you the fight, because that's what's winning the fights. Double grip, that's going to be hard to combat, especially if it's on one of your cores, but really nice jump from Tiny in the start of that engagement. Sets that Sand King kill up for his Night Stalker, chunks Lina and forces some of her early Shadowblade out.
Also, maybe next time playing like a beast, keep on hitting these Soulbinds. This time you didn't try and go for the Phantom Lancer. And I think in some ways, Chicken Fighters, the distance that they were playing was specifically to prevent any kind of Soulbind, but instead, the back line gets caught.
You ended up getting a better one, so...
Yeah.
These Soulbinds have been huge. Even the silence at the end there on the real PL.
Yeah.
Don't know how you exactly clicked that one, but nice.
Yeah, that was actually pretty intense. CHILLAX are going to try and do Roshan here, and honestly, it spawned it near perfect timing for them. Right before the Phantom Lancer is up and out on the field. He's alive, but they know Chicken Fighters is going to have a hard time getting here in time. They're not even going to try. So an Aegis and a fresh shard, which I believe Tiny had the shard queued up. Did he actually buy it for himself?
Yeah, so it was between Bane and Morph, and they give it to Bane. Normally I'd say the shard is pretty bad, but...
Okay, AoE damage, sure.
If you Brain Sap Peel and a bunch of illusions, it's a decent heal. Unfortunately, it is level 2 Brain Sap, so it's pretty much doing nothing here. Probably give it to Morph anyway, to be honest, but...
Yeah.
I think the multi-shots can also proc off the Grimmel. I'm not 100% on that, but...
Oh, yeah.
Could have been cool.
Double multi-shot.
Yeah, but the bigger thing
here is...
It
used to work that way, anyway. Yeah.
This Grim Ags, Dark Portrait, he's been getting really good Soulbind, so... Could be another source of vision. annoyance in the fight, the Lina or the PL illusion will do at least a little bit amount of damage here.
Trying to jump on a little pleb here, see if they can take away that Aegis, and they do quite easily.
Look for the Night Stalker ult if they want to take this.
See if Lil Pleb tries to go for the Manta dodge, doesn't actually get it. He might just die immediately. They have to pump the BKB and Inkswell for him to get out. And Chicken Fighters, they sense it. They sense a little bit of weakness. They smell blood. Own B, he's going to pop that nighttime, see if he can go for somebody, but the BKB is being popped preemptively by Chicken Fighters. It's a hard fight to take as both supports are already dead. Zibe is going to get swept up as the wait for him. Managed to catch it. Nice turn into the Burrow Strike, catching the Lina and dodging the LSA at the same time. Oh, but the toss is a little awkward. Pleb, he has to go for a TP out, and LSA catches him and they kill him. Morphling down, Chicken Fighters chasing for more now, as they might just get a dieback on maybe next time he reveals his positioning, trying to throw some damage around, dieback on him, and now it's CHILLAX's turn to spend with 4 people dead and no buybacks.
Disaster of a high ground there, just putting themselves in such an awkward position with Morph just losing the Aegis right off the bat. It puts them in a spot where they have to feel like they retreat, and at the same time, you can't really retreat versus lineup. They're going to chase you forever. M&T goes down instantly. No links coming out. The Bane dies as well. This is the saving grace in a lot of these fights. These support ults that come out set up the fight for their cores. This is just not anywhere close to the previous engagements that went well for them. These types of engagements where PL gets to chase and clean up, they're going to run out of faces eventually, right?
Yeah, maybe.
And now PL, he got to chase you down in the fight. Now he's chasing down your base.
Oh, MTD! Oh, what a great kill. As long as he can get out with the rest of his BKB, it's a little hard, though.
That's a big question.
They're diving it deep. Oh, there is no Nightmare save from Lodine. I think he used it on something else. Either way, the Tiny dies, doesn't have buyback. It would have been great if the Tiny could have been able to retreat, but Koma, he just kept chasing him down, and now no Tiny buyback for 70 seconds. How much further is Chicken Fighters going to push this?
That was a supreme buyback just to get this barracks.
I mean, with that kind of buyback, aren't you tempted to go for a little bit more?
I'd be.
Oh,
they are.
Burrow Strike first. BKB goes out, another great soulbind. Two-man Fiend's Grip. Lil Pleb sitting on top of them with the Inkswell as well. If they can find the real one, they could potentially kill this Phantom Lancer, but the heal's coming out from 5 up. Somebody needs to stop this one. It's on the Night Stalker. He chases away the Pugna, but Koma's pretty healthy at this point in time, a third of his health, so they kill the Pugna first. Lil Pleb's got to be careful, though. Pushed away the Lina. That LSA would have been devastating if it hit. That's why his distance from this Lina is crucial. Lil Pleb backs up successfully. And the kill score, almost dead even in a game that has gone very much back and forth.
Even in the kills, even in the gold, even in the ability to spawn Phantom Lancer illusions. Takes me back to a certain TI Grand Final, Morphling versus Phantom Lancer.
I have a terrible memory.
That was the OG on a PL game.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Though that was a different time, different heroes, different PL, different morph. I still think this matchup's just so PL favored, but he can spawn some illusions of his own.
Yeah.
Again, super good soulbind into the double grip as we see here. Just insta casting it on that real PL.
And Chicken Fighters keep on getting caught in this play of being overly aggressive into that. I have to wonder, man, that Pugna got so much life drain into Koma that if he was a little bit lower, would Pleb been able to commit for the kill.
And even maybe if some of these random Inkswells hit on that backside, PL might have gone down there. He's got to be a little careful. Again, this soulbinding grip is what's going to kill him in the fight.
Chicken Fighters.
Chicken disco.
Bobbing and weaving, dancing their way away from the enemy base here, as they've got at least the lane of barracks. Even if that last team fight was not great, they still walk away with an advantage of sorts, and they still have what used to aid the superior carry matchup, right? So,
I mean, carry matchup only goes so far, though. Some of those earlier fights, I feel like if CHILLAX gets the right jump off this NS Vision, they get on top of Lina +1.
Yeah.
They should be able to win that fight.
Look at that. He's actually going to start transitioning into the spear spam build, where he's got the Ether Lens going to go Octarine with the Shard and just spend a little bit more time, because committing has been a double-edged sword for him. He's gotten some extra kills off of it for sure, some great team fights, but at the same time, it's also the only reason he's died at all, is getting caught aggressively by that soulbound.
It's very true. Only happened twice, but the third time might be all it takes.
MTD.
He's got a double damage.
Does
Tiny hits hard. You're looking at almost 1,000 damage a pop when he pops that DD. And this might surprise his PL a little more than he thinks if he starts getting hit. Coma needs to watch out.
Yeah, I mean, that initial damage is so important, right? You get him low enough, the illusions become a lot easier to deal with. Becomes a lot easier to find the real one. Owned Me commits his BKB to try and chase down the Skywrath Mage. It's not the easiest kill, though, so he's actually going to reset a little bit, get some vision where he can. Keeping an eye on these heroes. Well, MTD actually goes to the backline with this DD. He's committing onto the Lina, but he doesn't have any help.
Satanic.
He's trying to punch it down by himself, but Supreme's Satanic is keeping him alive. What a disaster for MTD, but maybe the Morphling can still clean this up. They chase him down, a nice LSA, but he's not getting out alive. Lil Pleb picks that one up. Zibe, he has him cornered currently and looks for an epicenter kill. Does manage to get the Burrow Strike to stop the Night Stalker, but this flying, he's going to be hard to be able to chase down, playing the corner. Oh no, the Harpy creep plus the Phantom Rush. Bit by bit, they are poking him down and get the kill. The MVP of the fight, the Harpy Scout, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it was probably still PL, but yeah, that Harpy Scout betraying his fellow flying comrade.
No. There's Skywrath Mage. I would say Skywrath Mage is a little bit closer to Harpy, you know?
I do not know enough lore to debate that, but it sounds incorrect.
You know what I want now is I want a Harpy Scout Courier.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Here, this is what Coma was doing during that team fight. We were watching MTD get in, but the Phantom Lancer managed to find both the backline heroes right away, which is crucial for him, right?
Oh, he knows his job now, and that Lina just took so long to kill. He's gonna find Pleb here, but...
Yeah, Doppelganger. Oh no, the real PL ended up on the wrong side of the cliff here. And it looks like Lil Pleb should be able to... Ooh, okay, that was a little awkward. Does manage to get the toss follow-up here, but they still don't have the damage, and Lil Pleb's dropping fast. He needs to start morphing into strength immediately. And he can't get Diffusal Blurred any longer. He's got enough mana for a waveform for now and should be able to get some distance. They actually still killed the Sand King. MTD, he stuck around instead of trying to help his Morphling against the Phantom Lancer, which probably wouldn't have done anything. He completes the kill, so...
Saw that previous fight, even this one. It's all about getting your heroes on the right targets for CHILLAX. And even then, they found this Lina. It's just discoordinated, maybe not aware that he had that Satanic. That was really what stalled it. Like MTD's thinking, all right, I get on this Lina, start chunking him down, he has to leave the fight. He just stood there and man fought him. And now it's a battle of vision. You're not winning that one, Lodine, so...
No, he's not. Not against a high ground ward with Sentry, not against Harpy Scout. And they are going to just boldly go for this one with no Sand King because they found the opening. 5-Up actually dies first. Now the Phantom Lancer immediately goes for the back line, tries to catch and does kill the Grimstroke, but is he a little bit too far in? They're trying to throw what damage they can into this mess of illusions right now, but they're really struggling to without the support help. Coma.
Illusion on the back end.
Oh!
Era.
Actually killed by his own teammate here. Mass buybacks as a result. A Dark Portrait. A last dying wish of the Grimstroke to be able to spitefully kill the enemy's supports.
Remember, he can just cast out on illusions, so he insta gets it every fight.
Yeah.
Threw it on the Lina there, Supreme had to dodge away, ends up killing the Skywrath, and triple buyback from Chicken Fighters, hoping this Roche spawns.
And it will not. It won't spawn for a minute and a half. That is disastrous for Chicken Fighters, especially if they don't get something out of this smoke.
And that scan turns green on the back end, so CHILLAX knows they're not roshing, which gives them only one other possibility here, smoke to the triangle. That's the easiest dodge of their life.
Well, dodge for most people. Odin is just like, that's an opportunity for me to break the smoke.
A time to show my true worth.
Fortunately for him, Chicken Fighters did sweep upwards in an attempt to find more. 13 deaths. That's a true position 6 doing his job right there.
This is a decent window for CHILLAX, though, because of that triple buyback.
Yeah.
And it's triple buyback on all the heroes they would love to take out first, and these supports and Sand King. So, talking about this upcoming Roche fight, Dire's big advantage is usually the buybacks to this outpost. you're missing it for 3 heroes. If Tiny and Night Stalker find the right jumps, that just makes these committals way easier, way more straightforward to think about. You don't have to think about fighting aggressively into a 5v10 situation, right?
Really interesting. We always see toss charges, right? Because it's so good for being able to kill one unit. But I guess with the Phantom Lancer actually opting to go for the Avalanche cooldown.
It's an interesting choice. It will be better versus PL. At the same time, I question how much this game is going to come back to him jumping and perma stunning the right target.
Yeah.
We saw that earlier fight. If you find Lina with the toss charges, she might die there instead of getting Satanikov. Same for the PL if you randomly find him.
Yeah, another interesting choice. He actually went for the lesser picked critical strike. So a lot more damage coming in, but not going to have that constant doppelganger to work off of. Smokes running into each other. He's actually going to jump forward, but so is the Night Stalker. He sees the vision, but wasn't able to catch any of the heroes he wanted to.
Grip.
They do manage to get a real grip on the real one, but it actually fades away. They still have to toss, though, and a toss up in the air is just what they need. Phantom Lancer doesn't have a buyback. 5 up. He's going to die here. That's going to be a dieback on that support, possibly more. CHILLAX, have they just won the game?
They might not know they did, though. You're not always going to suspect this enemy carry doesn't have buy.
Yeah.
And they're going to spend it to kill the Sand King, who they know doesn't have buy.
They do have the dust. They do have the silence, so he's not going to be able to burrow strike and dodge any further. They have 70 seconds to work with. In a way, Roshan being up may just spare chicken fighters some serious damage, because what happens if CHILLAX win high ground there and the Phantom Lancer, nobody's buying back, you know? I mean, it may still happen with Tiny.
They might lose a barracks off this. They know Sand King's dead for 90. Your only thing holding you back is a lack of this nighttime for this Night Stalker, but you got a refresher shard, so
yeah,
screw that, you know, let's push it.
Okay, let's see how bold CHILLAX is, because there is a world where they could actually hit tier 3 and go straight for throne, but again,
they're doing it.
Oh, they're actually going to do it. Lil Pleb, somebody at CHILLAX has made the call to do this. They forced the glyph at least. Maybe it was just a ploy to be able to get glyph out of the way as quick as possible. Will they go back in for it?
Night Stalker ult, right?
Yeah, they absolutely can't make this kind of commitment, but they've got 15 seconds to do so. Toss up in the air, fast kill onto the Skywrath Mage. A little bit slowed down, but it does finally happen. Tier 4.
Oh, it's going to get melted.
It is going to get melted, and they still have 10 seconds left on the Phantom Lancer. LSA expertly dodge. They go back into the throne. This is CHILLAX full on committing. What a bold move, and what a great win for them in game 2.